Greetings, fellow Ambazonians. I want to reconnect this microphone so that my voice is clear on the. Greetings, fellow Ambazonians. This is Capo Daniel, the chairperson of the Peoples Rights Advocacy Platform. Today, I want to make a big declaration, which I have here printed out. For over 80 years, our people have been waging war, and my person have been honored to be in the middle of that war. From selling our Ambazonian flag, modeling our flag, and participating actively in raising soldiers, training soldiers, sustaining our campaign for our right of self-determination. From the consortium, supporting the consortium, who were initially asking for better condition for our teachers, lawyers, and representing the broader interests of our people, till STACUF demand for federation and transition into a full demand of outright independence. I've served as various capacity at the top level of our struggle as an anti-kidnapping czar fighting against kidnapping, deputy defense chief leading forces on the ground, being the author of defense forces like the British Southern Cameroon Defense Forces, fighting as a leader of the initial Manu or the Tigers of Ambazonia, as one of the bishops of that group, being the ambassador of the IG of Seseko Ayoktabi in the Middle East and in Asia, leading a team to the negotiation table, representing our struggle at the highest level as an independent activist traveling to Spain. I've gone far and near to meet state parties, stakeholders around the world, and out of the betrayal of our people in the negotiation table, I had resigned from the Hague of Sea. And today, as the chairman of the Peoples Rights Advocacy Platform, we seek to give our people a genuine voice, void of delusions, conspiracy, that best represent their interests and that represent our collective struggle to end subjugation in our land. So I'm going to read the press release which our organization, the People's Rights Advocacy Platform, have put out there as I make this presentation to you. About cessation of hostility. The Ambazonian People's Rights Advocacy Platform, on the 4th of May 2024, declares after a cabinet meeting, our member unanimously adopted resolution to end all hostilities against the state of Cameroon in regards to our conflict. We have resolved to choose the non-violent approach to fight for the right of self-determination of the English-speaking people in Cameroon, the West Cameroonian, Anglophones, Ambazonians. We call on all of our forces to stop all hostility and hold their weapons for self-defense purposes until a negotiated settlement with the government of Cameroon is achieved. We hope that the Cameroon government will reciprocate and react positively to this development. Fellow Ambazonian, at the peak of armed group rising up in ground zero in our struggle, we as the leaderships in the diaspora, the activists, and those that our population look upon, who were in a more comfortable place to speak for those who cannot speak for themselves, as a result of Cameroon's brutal oppression of the Ambazonian rising in 2016. We have failed to usher in what we will call the storming of the Bastille, to coordinate a massive and decisive push against the Cameroon military because of our internal dynamic. Groups ban each other, groups preventing each other from crossing territory. We became almost in a situation of a civil war in our territory that epics the killing of over 26 of our soldiers in Bui. We have failed to mobilize, galvanize our forces that rose up. Majority of those groups pick up arms by themselves because they felt an injustice by the state of Cameroon. We failed to mobilize and coordinate a decisive push against the Cameroon government to make significant gain of territory and significant liberation of our territory, mainly as a result of our internal dynamic and the divisive nature of our struggle. We have also not been able to translate international sympathy for our subjugation into recognition of the Declaration of Independence that was made by Seseko Ayoktabi of Ambazonia, mainly because the international community are not prone to support a further division of any recognized country following the debacle in Southern Sudan, where the international community has to come back and rescue the Southern Sudanese from civil war. Not only did the international community do not have appetite for division in Africa, but our internal dynamic also did not attract the right attention for recognition of our independence. Our people fled their homes with the hope that our soldiers will fight and defend those homes and liberate those homes from the Cameroon aggression. But unfortunately, because of our internal dynamic, our fighters have increasingly been entangled with economic activities rather than the liberation of our forces. In desperation, some of our groups have turned into outright terrorism, like what the ADF are doing in Ground Zero with Dr. Cho Ayaba, committing blatant war crimes. Our people rejects such violence against our people, excessive use of force against our people, extortion, kidnapping for ransom, public execution that we have seen endorsed and perpetrated by some members within our liberation movement. Our people have become disillusioned with conspiracy over conspiracy, with everybody being accused of working for the government of Cameroon other than specific individuals. We cannot make progress in such an environment. Our population have rejected extremism, but our population supports our right of self-determination. Our people are tired. We have published videos of our refugees speaking out their mind. Our people want the war to come to an end. And we must, as leaders, listen to the voice of our people and end their suffering. That is why the Peoples Rights Advocacy Platform for the past 1 year have been campaigning for direct negotiation with the state of Cameroon without precondition. Our organization have proposed an alternative solution that calls for the autonomy of the English-speaking part of Cameroon, which was the former British Southern Cameroon, as a negotiated settlement in our peace plan paper. As part of our diplomatic push to secure a settlement, a political settlement of this crisis, we have taken the decision that liberation by force is no longer viable and now poses a direct threat to our people by extremist group amongst our community and amongst our liberation struggle. We have also decided, based on our interaction with the rest of the world, that independence by recognition of our Declaration of Independence is also no longer viable. It is for the interests of our people to seek for settlement, negotiated settlement. And we take this opportunity to appeal to all sectors of our society, to the diaspora community, all political parties in Cameroon, all pressure groups in Cameroon, and human rights organizations to support this move that we have taken so that a negotiated settlement can come. The elections of Cameroon are fast coming. In 2025, there will be a presidential election in Cameroon. This is of primary interest to the international community. And we are calling on the Cameroon government that there is no way for them to organize a free and fair election in our community with the participation of our people with the current situation. The special status offered by the Cameroon government do not meet up the basic demand of our people or protects or guarantee the protection of their rights as found in the Human Rights Declaration of the United Nations. If the Cameroon wants election, they should include in that election a solution for Ambazonia, autonomy of a complete devolution of constitutional power to Ambazonia should be on the ballot box before any election can be properly taken place in Cameroon. There is no political party in Cameroon that can carry out or conduct debates, organize their constituency in any interior part in our territory. Our territory is ungovernable. The Cameroon military cannot provide armored cars for political parties to visit Ekondo Titi, Munia, let alone Bui. So there is no issue of going ahead with an election where the vast majority of the English-speaking part, a very unique part that the Cameroon government have acknowledged as being a unique part of that country, is in a state of war. A negotiated settlement is needed before any viable election can be able to take place in the English-speaking part of Cameroon, in Ambazonia, the former British Southern Cameroon. This is a decision that we have made, putting the interests of our people paramount, and also to foster and enhance our capacity to be able to present the plight of our people and their aspiration in the highest level of diplomacy. It is this in consideration that my cabinet of the Peoples Rights Advocacy Platform have taken this decision to completely end all hostility against the state of Cameroon. Our refugees have expressed a support, massive support for this move, for a political settlement. Our refugees want to go home through an assisted voluntary return home system program that we have included as a part of a negotiated settlement. Our political prisoners have shown support for a negotiated settlement for autonomy in Ambazonia from a constitutional devolutional point of view that will grant them amnesty and release from prison. Our people in the diaspora have also expressed support, and they want to return home under a negotiated settlement that grants them amnesty. Without any political settlement of this conflict, there will be a cycle of perpetual violence. The extreme groups and hardliners within our struggle will increasingly turn to outright terrorism because we have nothing to lose. We have taken this decision after studying every dynamic, and we are putting the interests of our people first. And we invite all Ambazonians, all Cameroonians, both English Cameroonians and French Cameroonians, to support our call for a cessation of violence and for a political settlement of this war. Our vision for Cameroon is one country, two people, where we, the Ambazonian people, the people of the former British Southern Cameroon, can have our own government where we elect our own governing officials directly, where we maintain the uniqueness of our territory with a single legislature where we manage our own municipal authorities, where our own council benefit from tax revenue that is collected from our own resources, and our people being able to manage themselves and guarantee their own basic rights, exercise and protection. This is our vision. One Cameroon, two country. We also have a vision of bilingualism, a true bilingualism that does not expose the minority from annihilation or assimilation. We want a bilingualism similar to what the Canadians have, where in the English speaking part, the English language is the dominant language and an official first language. And in the French part, the French language should be the dominant language. That is how it is supposed to be. Minorities must be protected against assimilation. The current offer by the Cameroon government for the special status do not adequately, sufficiently protects our people. It has further divided them and further reinforced the type of bilingualism that we started fighting against. This is the way forward, and we'll continue to remain engaged. Our people are ready to return back home under a negotiated settlement. We have been fighting a war that we did not call for by invoking our right of self-determination, of self-defense. And today we are calling for complete cessation of hostility. Our soldiers on the ground are ready for ceasefire under a negotiated settlement if the Cameroon government reciprocate. Our refugees as well are ready to come back home. Our diaspora, our prisoners are also ready to get into non-hostility with the state of Cameroon and recognize the reality of one Cameroon, two people. One Cameroon, two people. A true bilingual country with the English people having a home where the English language is preserved, protected, and enhanced, not exposed to annihilation, discrimination. We want a system where we have a Bauduria system of judiciary, where the common law will have its home as a supreme jurisdiction within the English-speaking zone. We want our own policemen to be indigenous people who care about law and authority, law and security in their own region. That is what we want. We want a country where the Ambazonian people should have an international personality. Cameroon should learn from the United Kingdom. The people of Scotland have their own flag, have their own parliament, have their own football team, and they still remain part of the United Kingdom. They do not pose a threat, even though the Constitution of the United Kingdom guarantees them a pathway to independence by democratic means. We want complete devolution of power and authority with a guarantee to a pathway for independence in Ambazonia, similar to what the Scotland and Northern Ireland agreed to for their people. This is not a capitulation. This is us putting our best interests first and agreeing and recognizing the reality of the international community vis-a-vis the independence of Ambazonia. Thank you all. God bless you. Ciao.